Hello friends, my name is Dr. Uma Hassan and I am continuing the series on the lectures Biological Anthropology. So in my previous lecture I have explained that how pre-Darwinian theories you need to understand with respect to social cultural anthropology. I would be discussing it more in coming lectures. First of all, I like to highlight on the term. See, we are referring to anthropology, right? Now, student always ask me that, ma'am, should they opt for anthropology discipline? So my answer is, if you people are coming from science background, अगर आप सब साइंस बैकग्राउंड से बिलोंग करते हो, टेक एंथ्रोपोलॉजी एज एन ऑप्शनल. Okay, now anthropology is studying about human evolution, both in bio and social characteristics. Today, I am reflecting on right approach to deal with biological anthropology. Now, as I said that if you are coming from science background, you can take anthropology as your optional. Why? There are two reasons. Okay, first of all, अगर आप साइंस बैकग्राउंड से if you people are coming from science background, that it means that you are already comfortable with learning facts. Most of you are coming from biology ka background also. You must be having this particular path in your, I would say, in your school, maybe in your graduation. So it is signifying that you must be knowing already about human evolution. You must be knowing about some of the biological concept in terms of understanding human evolution. So because of that, you do not have to give extra hours in learning and covering those subtopics in anthropology. Now, you would also see that how coming from sociology or some social sciences background might be easier for those students to deal with social part. But if you're coming from science background, then the second reason that you should opt for anthropology, because 60 to 70% of anthropology syllabus is delving into that sections, and the questions moreover coming from social cultural part is not that critical. So you would be having best of two disciplines. Science, if you're coming from science background, you would find easier to navigate those biological concepts, and not coming from science background, social science background, then you would understand it in a deeper manner, how social sciences concepts theories should be approached. So this is the benefit. Okay, so previously because of your science background, you are going to have some benefits, and now you would be learning about social cultural concepts. Now let's begin with biological anthropology and the core topic, right? So we were discussing 1.4, human evolution. Now what I would refer, that often we don't have right kind of approach to deal with such concepts. It is essential, it is so essential to understand first of all these two words, human and evolution. Okay, so human we know, again we can explain humans in both manner, in both concept, biologically and socially. Okay, we'll discuss it later on. Let's focus on this term, evolution. Okay, so I like to explain this term evolution with a thinker known as Herbert Spencer. Okay, you need to know that how you always should give some sort of references whenever you are learning or writing about some concepts. Now, Herbert Spencer has enlightened us by his explanation on social Darwinism principles. So he has written a wonderful book called Principles of Sociology. Okay, so Principle of Sociology is the, I think it is the work where he had written somewhere, if I'm not wrong, in 1863. Okay, and there he has coined the term evolution. Now, the word evolution is derived from word evolvo. Okay, so this is the term evolve. Okay, why I'm saying, see guys, whenever you are understanding any word, you need to have etymological understanding of those concepts. You know, there are two sub-disciplines of, I would say, philosophy: epistemological understanding, where you would be referring to origins, its scope, what are the core subjects, what are the sub-elements within that discipline, and etymologically. Now, etymologically speaking, the word evolution means a continuing process of change. So it means continuing process of change. Okay, so this is what you would see: continuing process of change from one state to another state. Continuing process of change from one state to another state. Okay, so the changes are in the continuous process. Okay, or from one form to another form. Okay, so it's like, if I'll demonstrate it with some figure, so let's just say I'm evolving from this one stage to the next stage. So in the next stage, I will have traits of my previous stage, but there will be some changes. Okay, so this is the changes to the second stage. So I am having previous change, that is here, that circle, and now I am having other form also. Now if I'll move to the third stage, okay, so I am evolving from stage 1 to 2 to 3. This is what evolution means. So evolvo, it's a Latin word. Evolvo, Latin, means to roll out, opening or unrolling. Now, when you people are learning in such a deep state about your concept, okay, when you are understanding it, definitely you would reflect in depth, right? So in its scientific sense, evolution refers to a process. Okay, so this is what you people have to understand, guys. You know, so in a scientific evolution, it refers to a process. Okay, so what you will say, okay, now I have just explained evolution, then you should be knowing it more, that what does it mean. So in science, it refers to a process. Okay, it refers to a process in which the lower forms of life, by gradual modifications, because you are accumulating the changes, okay, from one stage to another stage. So by gradual modification, accumulation through successive generations over million of years. So this evolution do not happen in 1 years, or like in some 10 years, some decades. No, it happens in million of years, give rise to higher forms of, thereby you can say generating organic diversity and organic progress. So evolution requires millions of years, right? It will not happen in just one go. Evolution highlights a chain of events. It emphasizes the appearance of life on earth. This is how you need to know. Okay, so that is what I would reflect on today. I have reflected, in fact, that in the initial stage, life was restricted. You can say it was restricted to microscopic unicellular organisms. Now, the organism which you could see, it was microscopic. You can't see it through your naked eyes. These organisms, through a long process of change, try to adapt to the ever-changing environmental conditions. Okay, so in order to understand human evolution, you are trying to understand this important part, right? So this organism, through a long process of change, try to adapt to the, you can say, ever-changing environmental condition. As a result, what happened? As a result, you can say unicellular organisms become multicellular complex organisms. So this is something you people have to understand, that when we are referring to human evolution, first of all, you should be knowing the term evolution. Now, to explain evolution, I have referred to Herbert Spencer. Herbert Spencer, in his work Principles of Sociology, have explained the term evolution. It's a Latin word which means evolvo, to roll out. Okay, so it is reflecting to the continuing process of changes. So continuous gradual modifications. Now, when we are learning about this biological concept in so depth, we are on right path. This is how in future also I am going to explain these important parts to all of you. Okay, so you need to know that how we all have evolved, how we all have evolved. So this is what we need to actually do a justice with concepts. Okay, we can talk about evolution in all the phases, what had happened during pre-Darwinian phases, Darwinian, what is modern synthetic theory, but we must have epistemological and epidemiological reflections on these concepts. I hope you like my lecture. Thank you.